Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where we currently have these political movements. I've been looking through this, and I think that our core issue is this Shiite traditionalist movement. I think that's a big part of it. So let's stop bolstering the Sunni rights movement and suppress the Shiite traditionalist movement and see what that ends up doing on that front. I also want to shift over all of our military units here to defending. I just want to make it harder for Russia to push in. If we're going to take back territory or push into Russia, that should be Britain that does that. I just don't want to spend the manpower. So let's proceed forward. And the real question at this point is how exactly are we going to do on freedom of conscience? We have a 7% success chance, but we're in adoption. If we succeed this roll here, it just happens. There's also a 36% chance at debate. Okay. So that's noted. 55% chance of stall, but fingers crossed. And it stalled. Well, that's unfortunate, but I don't think there's all that much we can do about that. This is just going to end up not passing. It's not surprising, right? That's not surprising at all. If we check our politics and we look at what is available at this point, we could theoretically try to do total separation, but I mean, if we wanted to move off of monarchy, that wouldn't be bad, except that, I mean, no one actually wants it. Literally no one wants any of this, right? Everyone wants to be a monarchy. So our politics just kind of sucks. There's not much we can do about that, other than just try to make some changes over time. As we can see, the Shiite traditionalist movement has shrunk to 11. So we can just leave that be for the moment, and that should be, in theory, okay. Emphasis on in theory. So there's a bunch of battles going on over here. Russia's winning this one. Britain's winning this one, or actually East India Company's winning this one. And this is Greece winning this. Who is our enemy? Okay. So that's absolutely understood. We're at minus 23 on this front. Britain is going to need to show up over here at some point if we want to actually win this, or like send some of these British Indian armies over. British Raj could definitely send some things over if they wanted to. But for the time being, this is the main Russian front here. And Britain has definitely sent some reinforcements over. That seems fine. Herat wants military assistance. We're going to decline that for the time being. So that seems fine. Actually, the odds of total separation are incredibly, incredibly low. This is probably not worth radicalizing the petite bourgeoisie, rural folk, and trade unions. Yeah, it probably isn't. We just have basically nothing that we can do in this regard, and it's not because of prerequisites. It's because our politics sucks. No one wants anything. Everyone just wants to maintain the status quo. And fine. I'm okay with that, actually. Believe it or not, that's actually fine. We're in a situation right now where I'm most interested in investing in our economy. This war is making that incredibly awkward for us. No doubt about that. But we are interested in investing into the economy. We are slowly paying off our debt here, incredibly, incredibly slowly. I'm wondering what the status is on the investment pool. Okay, that's noted. Reinforced concrete is going to be done in about 11 weeks. Let's see what our balance is going to be like. Well, our balance is 4.19k. We really should not resume construction at this point. I'd love to see some privatization happening. Let's check through to make sure that all of these buildings are capable of being privatized that we've been building. Tobacco plantations should be, although we haven't been building them. We've been building opium plantations, but they are capable of being nationalized. So that seems okay for now, or rather of privatized. So yeah, that seems absolutely fine for the moment. We are very interested in seeing privatization happen here. So this is the only remaining war here. Rubber mastication has been unlocked, which might give us a new production method. Let's see here. We might not have the correct building constructed for that. Yeah, we don't. That's fine. So rubber mastication, not all that relevant. The real question now is what is being exposed next? And the answer is vacuum canning. Okay. That seems fine for the moment. British Raj wants to support our independence. Okay. I don't know why they want to do that, but I'm fine with that, actually. British Raj is quite strong. They're number 5 in the world, and Britain's number 4 in the world. They might actually be able to do that. That's kind of wild. We'll definitely wait until this war is over, though. No doubt about that. So we're starting to see an advantage brew up on this front. That's good. It looks like Britain has moved a lot of forces in, and that's fantastic. And there's reinforced concrete unlocked. So now we're going to need to choose a new technology. I kind of want to go into society research here and think about something like... We could think about researching nationalism, actually. Nationalism is an interesting option for us. Mostly because that would allow us to go down towards... We wouldn't be that interested in, like, civilizing mission here. That would allow us to go down towards, like, pan-nationalism, down this direction, towards multilateral alliances. I don't know that that's all that relevant. But there is, say, mutual funds over here. Those are interesting options. There's also postal savings, which, I mean, we do have a lot of farmers. We could start working on postal savings. That's an interesting option there. Currently being exposed is realism, which is kind of irrelevant to us. In the military tab, percussion cap is being worked on right now, so that seems reasonably fine. I just feel like, I mean, there are some good things here, like steam donkeys. Yeah, that's definitely a potential opportunity there. We could also start doing electrification fairly soon. But I feel like we need to increase our earnings. That basically means postal office into central banking would be the idea there. But that's going to be kind of slow. So that's understood. I want to check in on how we're doing here. Okay, so we are capped on our innovation for right now. That's good. We're very happy about that. And we are seeing this debt slowly pay off. I would love it if this would change considerably more than this. We're working on expanding food industries. Okay. I really want to see some privatization happening, but for now, let's keep construction paused until this war is over. It should be over fairly soon. We can see that the war support here is dropping quickly. So it should be over shortly. We just need to continue to hold this front. We are remaining on defensive across this front. And we're hoping that Britain takes back this Merv territory. Dangerous equipment, huh? In northern Baluchistan, huh? We'll slow down the production for the moment. We don't actually have that much industrialization going on in northern Baluchistan, so it shouldn't actually be a problem. There is a shortage of man-o'-wars, which is not shocking. And we see that Shiite traditionalist movement currently down to 9%. Okay. So we can establish a new company, and we definitely want to do so. We can establish Khorasan Metals, which would not increase in prosperity. I'm interested in some of these down here. There was one that would increase in prosperity, which apparently is no longer a thing. Maybe it was a potential company here? Yeah, none of those would currently increase in productivity. So what I'm thinking right now is we should probably boost up our, specifically, like, United Construction Conglomerate is interesting. That wouldn't give us any actual productivity right now, but that is definitely interesting. Silk plantations. The oil conglomerate. We don't have any oil yet. We'll get there. Persian grains, I mean, that's interesting for sure. There's wheat and rye. Persian gold, we don't have any gold mines. Agriculture could be potentially interesting, but we haven't worked very much on that yet. Is there not a company for focusing on opium production? So that's what I'm really looking for here. Ah, this would be it here. Okay. I'm going to establish this, but we cannot establish it because we need at least 4 Persian states. So we're going to come back to that. That's the one I want, but we are not capable of... To that end, 4 Persian states having at least 4 opium plantations. That is 1, 2, 3. So all we should need is 1 in Khorasan to qualify for that. Something like this. That should be reasonably fine. I'm going to unpause our construction for 7 weeks until we finish that. And then we'll repause the construction because, yikes. So that's definitely painful. No doubt about that. So we're going to finish up these couple of opium plantations. This government administration is going to finish as well, which will be a useful thing for us. But we're going to be building up debt fast at this point. So that is absolutely understood. Percussion cap has been unlocked. That's great. But all we need is this opium plantation in Khorasan at this point. I wish we could do like a sliding scale of our construction where we could turn it down but not completely off. That would be ideal. Unfortunately, such an option does not exist at this moment. What is going on here? Omani Modernist Revolt? Okay. So we need to finish that opium plantation. There we go. And now I'm pausing our construction. In theory, at this point, we should be able to... This should be an available company now. Yes. We're going to establish this. Okay. So our prosperity is not going to be gaining right now. Our productivity isn't terribly high. Oh, wow. A lot of things just popped up here. So peace treaty, nihilism... So, an anti-clerical and anti-monarchic movement in the intelligentsia. Honestly, this is good. Perhaps they have a point. So we'll get an agitator there. That sounds great. And does that change our overall political layout here? Not immediately. Okay. No one is interested in making any movements at this time still. And Trucial States wishes to grant us foreign investment rights. Sure, we will take that. So that sounds wonderful. And what do we need to do here? So, we'll complete if at least one of these. Persia has enacted censorship or outlawed dissent, and the nihilist movement has been suppressed for more than 5 years. Ah, so we want to fail this. Okay. I think. 5% of academics would become more loyalist. Yeah, we want to fail this. And this would then trigger the event into oblivion. So we need to pass state atheism or total separation. We can give it a go. The odds are a little bit better. So let's give that a go now that we have that movement. So that's that Sunni rights movement helping out there, yeah. So that's absolutely understood. We do have that traditionalist movement significantly suppressed. It's at 7% from 12%. So that is noted. We will try this, but odds are extremely bad that it passes. If that doesn't work, we'll try freedom of conscience again, but we can't do that for 12 months. So that's understood. We've got 10 years to try to pass this thing, and we'll see what ends up happening with that. So at this point, we're making about 6K. Understood. Construction is going to be very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. No doubt about that. So I'm just checking through all of these. It's fine for the moment. We're very interested and looking at this radicalism. That radicalism is probably a good thing as well. We can utilize that. But we're very interested in getting this debt paid off and getting that interest paid. But the question is, to what end? Either way, we're not going to be able to afford to construct for particularly long. So that's definitely noted. But we'll see what happens with total separation here. I would be shocked if this goes through, but you never know. Maybe we get really good rolls. We have a 9% chance of debate, a 6% chance of success, and an 83% chance of stall. Hilarious. We will see if anything actually happens with that, but this is not expected to pass. So that is absolutely fine for the time being. It is the next attempt that I would really, really hope passed. So the Nihilist movement is something that we're probably actually interested in bolstering here. We don't have the weekly authority to do that right now, and yeah, this hit a stall at this point. So minus 7%, this is going to give us a setback, but it's also going to boost the interest group pop attraction. So let's take that. That seems good. I want to bolster this Nihilist movement. So we don't, unfortunately, have the authority at this time. What is our... Okay, I think we drop a consumption tax. So that would be like glass is the least valuable one. We drop that, and then we come into the Nihilist movement, and we bolster the Nihilist movement. So something like this. So this is currently pressuring the trade unions. That's understood. But let's bolster up this Nihilist movement, and let's see what we can do about this. So that would be ideal to utilize. I'm surprised this hasn't given us a setback yet, but it seems to be at like 25% that it gives us a setback. So that's understood. No shockers there. We've got some potential market access issues, but this isn't our market access issues, so that looks good. And this debt is a long ways away. Yeah, there's that legislative failure. We're going to take that setback. That's again, it's extraordinarily unlikely that we're able to pass this, but maybe if we can get this Nihilist movement boosted up, that would be great. So they endorse total separation. They strongly endorse state atheism. We're not going to get state atheism, that's for sure. They oppose theocracy, they oppose monarchy and corporate state, and they're neutral towards everything else. They oppose freedom of conscience. That's interesting. Very interesting. But that's fine. For the time being, I'm very interested in getting something passed here. That would be nice. But again, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen. What we're mostly interested in right now is getting this debt paid off, although that's a very slow process when we're not getting any privatization. I wish... Oh, hey, look at this. We're actually working on some privatization here. We're working on funding for privatization. So that is a very, very good thing. So with that being the case, that means that that's going to pay off a significant chunk of this debt immediately. That's huge. Absolutely huge. So we hit another stall here. This isn't necessarily surprising. Let's see here. So 10% enactment time is not that bad. We could take another setback for the enactment success chance, but I don't think that's worth it. We're just going to take another roll here. It's fine. That seems reasonably good. We're not all that concerned about this passing. It's not going to happen, almost certainly, but you never know. It's worth a try. So we're up to about 35% literacy at this time. That is good, but as you can see, it's kind of leveled off in recent times. So that's not ideal, for sure. We're struggling to get above 30% literacy at this point. So that's absolutely understood. That is very, very sad. I would love to get some more construction going here, but what do we got here? The play for power. So the armed forces is wanting some political strength here. The armed forces, how do they feel about our current law change? So the answer is they are neutral on this. I'm going to give them political strength because that will remove political strength from these here. But it'll also remove it from the intelligentsia. So we'll see how that goes. So let's see here. Yeah. Trade unions are not happy about total separation for some reason. I don't know why they care about that, to be honest. So there's this guy. He's supporting the Nihilist movement, and honestly, let's see what happens here. I want him to stick around. Okay, so a Russian-American rivalry has been declared. That is a good sign for us. And funding is 67% available for this opium plantation at this time. Gifts among friends, huh? The anti-Sikh society is looking to make the landowners be more loyalist. Or we can make this guy resign from the landowners. Now, his ideology is moderate, so I don't actually care. I think we'll take the loyalists. That seems reasonably good to me. Cool. So that's fine for right now. The real question here is, how's this opium plantation funding going? Well, we can see we're at 1.47 million at this point, and that's definitely progressing. I think we privatized one level for like 50,000. That's about 10 weeks worth of income at the current rate. So that's not bad. That all, of course, goes towards paying off our debt. And that would be absolutely huge. We'd be delighted to get that done. So that's wonderful, and we're going to want to get all of these government administrations finished up soon enough. But I'd really, really like to see these privatizations speed up a little bit. Our investment pool, not really getting much reinvestment at this time. So honestly, postal savings is going to be very beneficial for us in that regard, because postal savings is going to give us 15% farmers investment pool contribution efficiency and 15% shopkeepers investment pool contribution efficiency. So both of those would be great. And then after postal savings, I'm kind of thinking mutual funds, but Great Britain is boosting legitimacy of us. Okay, we'll take it. Seems fine to me. We're up to a 10% success chance here? Interesting. No, it's not a success chance, but 10% of the political clout. Okay, so the intelligentsia is at 10% clout. Sounds good. So we stalled here again. This is not surprising. So we can take a setback here. Or we could just stay focused on the law. This would keep us at a 1% success chance, which is really, really low. I'm not gonna lie. That is incredibly, incredibly low. So that's understood. We're very interested in enacting something here, but ultimately, our politics is just awful, and there's not much we can do about it. So for now, that's understood. We're at 1.28 million. We're definitely seeing privatization happening, although at this point we are expanding furniture manufactories and not looking to do more privatization, but at least that saved us like a couple thousand per month, or rather per week, in our interest payments. So that's good. That definitely starts the snowball rolling, and that's absolutely excellent. Rubber has been discovered in Tonkin. Good for them. Good for them. So as of right now, this is definitely economically painful for us. And it's because we're just stuck on traditionalism, right? We've managed to get the Nihilist movement up to 12% support, though, so that's definitely making progress. The Shiite traditionalist movement is at 12%, but you can see they're protesting as of right now. So that's not ideal. The Nihilist movement is currently passive in their activism, which means that they want what, like state atheism? Can we even attempt that? The ulema would need to not be part of the government, which is probably fine. We could theoretically do that. So it'd be like this, right? But I don't think we want to do that at this exact moment. We'll see what happens with this. I expect this to fail in the very, very near future. So this is going to stall, right? Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, this is a stall here. Hey, actually... we'll pressure them into cooperating for now. That brings us up to an 11% chance. That was a really good stall event. I like it. That was absolutely phenomenal. So at this point, we're at 6.04k in interest, right? And that's definitely a little bit painful. We're down to 1.19 million in credit, and the real thing that I want to do is I want to get down to finishing construction of this government administration, but we're just not really financially capable of that at this time. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue to work on getting these law changes going. I'd love to get the Nihilist movement failed here. We will see if that ends up happening. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.